Evaluate the following, and again, we have 4 problems that are addition or subtraction problems. Let's start with negative 55 plus 362. All right, we have to decide whether we're adding or subtracting, and here we can see that the signs are different, a negative and a positive. So we're going to take the difference, which means we're going to take the larger number, 362, minus the smaller number, 55. Again, we're going to have to borrow. We can't subtract 5 from 2. So if we borrow from that 6, the 6 becomes a 5, the 2 then becomes a 12, and 12 minus 5 is 7. 5 minus 5 gives us 0. The 3 gets brought down, and we have 307. We have to ask ourselves if the answer will be positive or negative, and since the larger number was positive, our final answer will also be positive, so we have 307. Let's take a look at the next one, negative 55 minus 362. There's 2 ways to look at this. We can leave it like this. You can also change it to an addition, negative 5 plus negative 362, because taking money away from someone is the same as adding to their debt, right? We could spend $362 in cash on, I don't know, a computer, or we could put it in our credit card and add to our debt. Sometimes students like to change subtractions to additions because it makes clear which is positive and which is negative. In this addition, both of them are negative, and because they have the same sign, we have to set it up as a sum. So 55 plus 362. It's possible to determine that when it's a subtraction. Because this number is being subtracted, we know it has a negative value. So you could still see that way that both of them are negative and that they have the same sign, but students who like rules will often change everything to an addition so that they can follow the same sign, sum, different sign, difference rule. Anyways, let's get on with this. 5 plus 2 is 7, 5 plus 6 is 11, carry the 1, 1 plus 3 is 4, so we have 417. Now we have to determine if this will be positive or negative. The larger number was negative, so that means our answer will be negative, and we have negative 417. Let's continue with the next one, 55 minus negative 362. We've seen this sort of thing before. When we are subtracting a negative, it's the same as adding a positive. So we can rewrite this more simply as 55 plus 362. Now they have the same sign, so we need to take the sum. 55 plus 362. We know that is 417, because we just did that right here. Now we have to determine if our answer is going to be positive or negative. Here the larger number is positive, and so our final answer will also be positive. And this is why we often want to take these subtractions and change them to additions, because if we had looked at the original problem, some people might have thought that the larger number was negative, but because it's being subtracted, those two cancel out. So I usually recommend changing things to addition because it'll make that last step a little bit easier to do. Okay, we have one more problem. We've got 55 plus negative 362. They have different signs, so we need to take the difference. 362 minus 55. And we've actually done this before in the first problem. We figured out 362 minus 55 is 307. And in this case, our final answer is going to be negative because the larger number was negative. So here, negative 307 will be our final answer.